What was the highest waste of money that you don't regret? My first paycheck I bought a $900 wedding cake. Me and my brother had no way to get it home since it didn't fit on our skateboards. We just had a cake fight in the parking lot. My brother passed away shortly after that. I still think about that day whenever I'm sad. I got into a stupid fight with my brother, so I found a game he had pledged on Kickstarter, Space Haven, and saw that for $360 I could write a pre-made character BO that would randomly show up. So I pledged it and wrote a character BO with his name and made him a flaming asshole. I have never played this game and don't want to. €600 for an hour of laps, 3 of 20 minutes each, around the Nürburgring in Germany. It was open in the off season and there wasn't a single other car near me the whole time. 10/10ths one of the most thrilling experiences of my life. I bought the $350 LEGO Ghostbusters Firehouse 5 years ago. I was a huge LEGO kid in the 1980s and loved Ghostbusters. When they announced the set I told my wife that I was buying it. Ridiculous expense be damned. It is set up in my home office and will never come down. Pick for those who are asking, yes, it is dusty. We just had work done that made a mess. My older sister is obsessed with the Witcher games, so I paid the main character / Geralt's voice actor to wish her a happy birthday. When my mom was diagnosed with cancer, a year after my dad died unexpectedly from cancer, I went to the animal aid thrift shop, bought a bunch of odd dishes, put down a drop cloth, and threw them at my house while screaming bloody murder. I don't regret 1 second of that temper tantrum or 1 dime I spent to make it happen. I eventually made a couple of beautiful mosaics out of the pieces, and my mom is 6 months cancer free. Back in high school I was about to go on my first ever date, and I made extra money to make sure I had enough. Around $600 I had. The day before our date she gave me a letter and she basically broke up with me. Being a teenager I had no control over my emotions as being brought up in my family would say guys shouldn't cry over anything, but I had no way to process it. So after school I went to 7-Eleven, bought 2 large Slurpees, 6 hot dogs and got a prepaid card, and bought a bunch of Nika action figures. I actually had a good weekend because I honestly splurged on that money and got into action figure collecting as well. Practiced stop motion, which ended up helping me to pursue an animation career, and I'm about to finish and ready to apply to stop motion studios. I got $27k and spent it on a solo cross-country road trip that led to me moving on the complete opposite side of the country from everyone I've ever known. I was in a dark place in my head. The original plan was to find a nice place to end my story, but the trip itself helped me reconsider, so absolutely no regrets to speak of. Edit. Didn't really expect this to receive this much notice. Thank you for the awards, and I'm sorry if I can't reply to them all. I'm currently kind of swamped. I spent $300 on a mule. An actual living, 4-hooved, long-eared mule. We raise cattle, so a protection mule was a good excuse. But, really, I just fell in love with him. He's huge and sassy. He'll steal your hat and run away. He's got a ninja mode where he can sneak up on you just to breathe down your neck or startle you. He does keep the coyotes away. However, he has proved himself priceless because he eats thistle. When we got the lease on the land for our cattle, the pastures had been neglected and were in bad shape. Thistle is a spiky plant that spreads across the pasture, choking out grasses. Cows won't eat it. It's really hard to get rid of. To our surprise, the mule cleared out nearly all the thistle in a matter of months. He would eat the flowers out of the center. He saved us an enormous amount of money and labor. We were able to avoid using chemical weed killers, which we really didn't want to do. Probably the best investment in our whole cattle raising experience. Dining at a Michelin-starred restaurant in Milan. We had an 18-course meal with wine pairings for like $400 or so. This may not seem like a lot of money to some, but I waited 287 lbs. I lost 100 pounds and my reward was a $300 $0 pair of fry boots. I had been drooling over them for years and finally scrimped and saved to buy them. I told my husband it was my food money. Lol. It was actually my cigarette money. I had quit smoking a year before that, but still faithfully put away $700 a day. I figured that I could always find cigarette money when I smoked, so I will keep finding it to save. I bought a Nintendo Wii that way too. I have never regretted using those boots. I love them. Let me add a note, I had help losing the weight. I had lap band surgery, which in of itself is another struggle. The weight came off pretty fast and now it's a bit of a struggle to keep it off. My greatest fear is gaining it back. I have a couple of sisters that had gastric bypass and gained their weight back, so that terrifies me. I'm still about a size 14, which to me is healthy. I'm happy with that. When I was younger I came into a sum of about $15k. I wasn't very careful with the money, and other than putting $5k down on car, I blew the money here and there. But what I put the largest amounts toward were friends in need. I paid one friend's power bill just before it got shut off. I helped another friend keep her water on. I never could keep my hands on money for long, but I don't regret having wasted it helping friends. I bought my own tuxedo. It's $1,000-1, $200 minimum by the time you get good shoes, shirt, bow tie, etc. for it. I hardly wear it, but goddamn, do I look good in it compared to a rental. I also spent $20 on a mustard yellow hat that has big cheese written and red stitching on it. Only bust it out for the really big occasions. $9k on a hot tub and its installation. I use it probably 2x a day, and for those 30 to 40 minutes I'm almost completely pain-free, sometimes bordering on euphoria. This is going to get buried, but paying the adoption fee for the oldest/longest resident cat at shelters, cat rescues. I think I'm up to about 8k in adoption fees. For a bit of background, my job allows me to travel an insane amount, usually about 200 days a year, and one of my hobbies is going to cat cafes. I've been to 56 around the world, because I was making stupid amounts of money, on top of getting a per diem, access to catering 3 times a day, and living very frugally. I had a lot of extra cash. So I would visit cat cafes, which are usually partnered by rescue groups, or go to local shelters. I would spend time with the cats and anonymously pay for the adoption fee of the cat who was the oldest or been there the longest. A few times I paid for transportation arrangement for cats from high-kill shelters as well. Also, sometimes when we would stay in hotels of tiny little towns that were clearly low income, I would leave $100 at whatever small restaurant I ate at. I always made sure to slip out before they noticed. My couch. I moved out of my mom's house last year, 2019, so no virus, and I always wanted a good couch. I tested so much. I went to so many furniture stores, looked at so many different models, and then choose mine. It's actually from IKEA. 3 seats and long enough to let someone sleep on it. In a grey, but I saw they were also having a black cover, so I'm thinking about getting that one. Extremely comfortable. I wanted a couch where you could chill out and love how fluffy it is without losing the ability to sit on it. In some couches you are not able to lean on the back and still have a straight back. You can sit on the backboard in the armrests. They are flat, so you can also put a cup of tea on them. It's also not too low, so you don't feel like sitting on the ground, which I do strangely often compared to my love for this couch, but you can let yourself fall onto that damn thing. It also looks easy and simple, so I don't want the suggestion of someone who tried a lot of couches and happens to be me then buy the Vimmel couch from IKEA. I bet a few $100s on the opposition. When my team was in the grand final, we won, and I was still very happy. Got an Apple IIe computer from the early 80s in 2019. Rarely use it, but love that it's there. That's it for now. Thank you for watching the video. Leave your comments below. See you soon.